Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting.
Your shortcut to being well-informed.
Yeah, we cut through all that noise on X, we grab the posts everyone's talking about.
And give you the context, the stuff that actually matters.
So you get the insights fast. No fluff.
Exactly. Helping you understand the buzz without drowning in it. Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, this one from @Krassenstein. It reads, I just returned from 2 weeks in Japan, and I have to be honest, it really opened my eyes to how far behind the U.S. is falling in so many basic ways. Some things that stood out. In 2 weeks, across some of Japan's most densely populated cities, I saw only 2 visibly. That's a pretty strong take, falling behind in basic ways. Okay, let's unpack this. What's he seeing?
Well, it really highlights some stark differences, doesn't it? He touches on a few key areas.
Like homelessness.
Exactly. Japan's rate is incredibly low, like almost negligible compared to the U.S., 0.003% versus 0.18% here.
Wow. Why is such a huge gap?
It seems to boil down to a mix of things. Very strict social policies, for one. And also, Japan's really low immigration numbers play a role, according to some studies.
So policy and maybe cultural factors.
Definitely. And then there's public transport. Japan's famous for its high-speed rail, the Shinkansen, right?
Right. Super efficient.
That's the result of decades, literally decades, of investment starting way back in the 60s. Data shows like 70% of Japanese use public transport regularly.
And in the U.S.?
It's tiny, maybe 5%. A huge contrast.
And the litter thing. He mentioned seeing hardly any trash despite fewer cans.
Yeah, that points to a strong cultural emphasis on community responsibility. It's just ingrained. Studies actually show that these kinds of social norms can cut public littering by like 40% in cultures like Japan's.
What's fascinating here is how culture and long-term planning really shape everyday life so differently. It definitely challenges how we think about things here.
It really does.
Okay, moving quick. Next post from @MattVanswol. Can anyone pinpoint the exact moment where everything in society just got substantially worse?
Ah, the million-dollar question.
Right. You hear this sentiment a lot. Here's where it gets really interesting. Is there an actual moment?
Well, that's the debate, isn't it? The post itself sparked a lot of discussion, mostly pointing towards economic shifts.
Like what?
Some people in the thread pointed way back to the 1913 Federal Reserve Act.
Yeah.
The creation of the central bank.
Okay. How does that connect?
The argument is that it set the stage for long-term inflation. Fed data does show the money supply has increased massively, like 2,000% since then.
But others look at more recent times.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of focus in the thread was on the Obama presidency, 2009 to 2017.
Why then?
Well, some economic research noted a pretty significant rise in income inequality during those years, about 38%. And that kind of thing can definitely fuel a feeling that things are getting worse for many people.
Any other contenders for the moment?
There's another interesting one, even earlier than Obama, but later than 1913, the 1971 Nixon shock.
When the U.S. went off the gold standard.
Exactly. Ended the direct convertibility of dollars to gold. Some economic studies suggest that kicked off like a 30-year period of economic volatility.
So no single easy answer.
Not really. This raises an important question. Is it one event or just accumulation? Lots of systemic shifts adding up over time. Understanding these different points helps you see the bigger picture of our economic history,
Definitely food for thought. Okay, let's switch it up. Culture, commerce, and maybe some confusion. First, @ClownWorld posts this. I still can't believe she said this with an image.
This one. Yeah, this is a viral meme.
Your supposed quote.
It attributes this quote to Angel Reese. Y'all make $1,400 a week. I make $1,400 in 7 days.
Which sounds pretty blunt. Did she actually say that?
No. Let's be super clear. There is absolutely zero evidence she ever said this. Not in interviews, not in official statements, nowhere. It's completely fabricated. A meme.
Okay, so it's fake, but why did it catch on? And what is her financial situation?
Well, her actual WNBA salary for 2024 is public record, around $73,000 a year. But, and this is key, she makes a lot more off the court. Like, she reportedly got $250,000 for just an 8-week 3-on-3 league stint, plus merchandise, endorsements.
So the meme plays on that potential high income, even if the quote's fake.
Precisely. It taps into this broader thing where top WNBA players are really leveraging their personal brands because the league salary cap, around $1.5 million total, is quite limiting compared to men's sports. The Guardian did a piece on this.
So the meme hits a nerve.
Yeah, it seems to tap into this cultural flashpoint. Reese is very outspoken about pay equity, right? That clashes with some public skepticism or maybe even resentment. Remember the whole thing with Ice Cube's BIG3 League, choosing Caitlin Clark over her? It's all part of that conversation.
Gotcha. It's amazing how fast misinformation can spread. Okay, next one, related to policy and perception. From @Nully with BTC. Trump will start charging foreign travelers up to $15,000 to visit the U.S. This comes as the country is already losing billions of dollars in tourism revenue. Okay, $15,000 to visit. That sounds huge. So what does this all mean for global travel? Is this accurate?
Right. This is a perfect example of needing to drill down past the headline. The Post is seriously misrepresenting the situation.
How so?
It's not a blanket fee for all foreign travelers, not even close. This refers to a specific new State Department pilot program announced just August 4th.
A pilot program?
Yes, and it targets only 2 countries, Malawi and Zambia. And it's not a fee, it's a potential bond of up to $15,000 for certain visa types, B1, B2 business, or tourist visas.
A bond, like a deposit they might get back.
Potentially, yeah. It's meant to ensure they leave when their visa expires. The policy is based on data showing higher visa overstay rates from those 2 countries, specifically like 14% for Malawi, 11% for Zambia, according to Homeland Security.
This is very targeted.
Extremely. They estimate it'll affect maybe 2,000 applicants total over a year, tiny scale compared to overall tourism.
And the claim about losing billions in tourism revenue.
Well, U.S. tourism did see a drop in overseas visitors earlier this year, about 11.6% in March. But there's no peer-reviewed study linking that dip to this very specific brand new small pilot program. That connection is just speculation at this point.
Was there anything like this before?
Interestingly, yeah. A similar pilot was proposed under Trump's first term back in 2020, but got shelved because of COVID. So this revival fits into the administration's broader focus on immigration enforcement, like the travel ban on 19 nations from June.
So it's a prime example of how specific policies get twisted online. Details matter.
Absolutely. Drilling down is key.
Okay, let's keep moving. Politics, legal stuff. This sounds intense. From @RossAlerts. Escher breaking. The FBI has now been directed to assist in the apprehension of Democratic lawmakers who fled Texas to block a controversial vote.
Yeah, this is a dramatic situation.
Fleeing the state. FBI directed. What's fascinating here is the sheer audacity of this political move.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay, so what happened is Texas Democratic lawmakers literally left the state. Why? To deny the Republicans a quorum enough members present to hold a vote.
What vote were they trying to block?
A controversial redistricting plan. The Republican proposal could potentially add about 5 GOP seats to the Texas congressional delegation.
And this is happening now. Isn't redistricting usually after the census?
Exactly. This is a mid-decade redistricting push, which is pretty rare. It's reportedly backed by President Trump, defying that normal 10-year cycle.
Okay, but the FBI involvement, is that real?
That's the big question mark.
Yeah.
The claim seems to stem from a letter Senator John Cornyn sent to FBI Director Kash Patel requesting assistance. But, and this is crucial, the FBI itself has not confirmed they're taking any action.
So it's a request, not an order they've acted on.
As far as we know, yes.
Yeah.
And legal experts are already questioning if the FBI even has jurisdiction here. Generally, Texas authorities can't compel lawmakers who are outside of Texas borders. There was a similar walkout situation and a Texas Supreme Court ruling on this back in 2021.
So it's legally murky.
Very. And just for broader context, historical data shows both parties have engaged in gerrymandering, drawing district lines for political advantage. This fight in Texas is really part of a long-running battle over partisan map drawing, especially since a 2019 Supreme Court case basically said federal courts wouldn't intervene in these kinds of disputes.
Always a fight over those maps. All right, shifting gears again to the world of crypto. @WatcherGuru posts. Just in. JUP's SEC declares crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities.
Ooh, yeah. Big news.
This seems like a big deal for crypto. What does it mean?
It is. Definitely a significant development. Basically, the SEC put out a statement today, August 5th, saying that liquid staking won't be treated as a security under certain conditions.
Liquid staking. Remind us what that is.
It's a way for people who hold certain cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum now, to earn rewards on their holdings, staking them, but without having their assets completely locked up. They get a token back that represents their staked amount, which they can still trade or use.
Okay. And not being a security is good for them.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
It means it likely avoids a whole layer of complex and costly regulations under the Securities Act. The SEC's reasoning is that these specific activities might lack the entrepreneurial or managerial intent typically associated with securities.
This seems like a change for the SEC, doesn't it? They've been pretty tough on crypto lately.
It really does. Think about the lawsuits last year against big exchanges like Coinbase and Binance, arguing many tokens were unregistered securities. So yeah, this could signal a bit of a pivot, maybe influenced by industry lobbying or maybe the technical reality of how things like Ethereum's proof of stake work now.
Is liquid staking a big part of the market?
Oh yeah, huge growth. If we connect this to the bigger picture, blockchain data shows liquid staking assets went from maybe $10 billion in 2022 to over $50 billion by the middle of this year. So a lot of money and investor activity relies on this space. This SEC clarification has major financial implications.
50 billion. Wow. Okay, next up. AI, global connections, and maybe some culture clash. At Matt Walsh blog posts an image with the text, "No, dear God, please no."
Eh. Yeah, quite the reaction.
What exactly is causing this reaction? The image seems related to Starlink.
That's right. His dramatic "No, dear God, please no" seems to be a reaction, probably symbolic, to the news that Elon Musk's Starlink satellite internet service is expanding into Somalia.
Starlink in Somalia. Why the strong negative reaction from Walsh?
Well, Somalia is a country with a history of conflict and very limited infrastructure. Internet access there has been incredibly low, like only 6%, according to recent World Bank data.
So Starlink could be huge for them?
Potentially transformative, yeah, for education, for the economy. But it's a double-edged sword, right? Bringing high-speed internet controlled by a foreign company into a place with fragile governance raises big questions about data privacy, digital sovereignty, potential misuse, especially given Somalia's recent history.
So opportunity, but also risks.
Exactly. And there's also this slightly odd, almost throwaway visual element in the post referencing Winston Churchill's tie. Maybe a subtle jab at modern corporate culture versus old school style. It's a bit layered.
Interesting. Technology meeting geopolitics and fashion critique.
Sort of. It highlights the complex reality of tech expansion.
Okay, and sticking with tech and prominent figures, at Elon Musk himself posts AI judging AI along with the video.
Yeah, saw this one.
Okay, let's unpack this. The video is a monkey smoking. What's the connection to AI?
Right. It's definitely provocative. The video shows a monkey smoking a cigarette. Musk's caption, "AI judging AI," seems to frame it as some kind of commentary, probably ironic or humorous, on the state of artificial intelligence development.
How so? What's happening in AI that makes this relevant?
Well, it comes amid some really rapid AI advancements. For example, there was recent news about Chinese researchers creating the DeepSeek-powered Darwin monkey, an AI model simulating a monkey's brain with, like, 2 billion neurons.
Okay, so AI is mimicking biological brains.
Exactly. The progress is incredibly fast, which brings up all sorts of ethical questions. So Musk posting a video of a real monkey engaging in a harmful human habit. Maybe it's a way to reflect on the unpredictable paths AI could take, or the responsibilities we have.
So it's a metaphor.
Likely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it could also touch on societal anxieties about technology blurring lines, maybe even animal welfare issues in tech research, recalling things like that smoking chimpanzee seen in a Chinese zoo years ago. It's using dark humor to poke at some deep questions about where AI is heading.
Definitely makes you think. Okay, last one for today, and it's quite something. From at Autism Capital. Sir, the president appears to have broken into a spontaneous YMCA on the roof.
Tuckles?
I mean, you really can't make this stuff up. Here's where it gets really interesting. On the roof. Seriously.
Seriously. The post refers to actual C-SPAN footage from today, August 5th. It shows former President Donald Trump dancing on the roof of the White House to the Village People's Y.M.C.A.
Wow. Okay. We know he likes that song at rallies, but on the White House roof.
Exactly. It combines his known fondness for the song and his particular dance style, this sort of hip sway and fist pumps, with a very unusual location. It just screams unconventional.
What was the context? Was there an event?
It's not entirely clear if it was tied to a specific event or just happened, but it underscores his tendency for spontaneous, attention-grabbing public moments. You know, he does this kind of thing, the dancing at rallies, at NFL games sometimes. It's part of his brand.
Is there anything else happening policy-wise that puts this in perspective?
Well, yeah, it happened on a day where his administration was also making news on things like potentially imposing new tariffs on India and commenting on India-Russia relations. So you had these serious policy moves happening alongside this spectacle.
So it's that mix again.
Totally. This moment, while maybe just lighthearted or bizarre, depending on your view, is a fascinating peek into that blend of politics, personality, and pure cultural phenomena that defines public figures today.
What a whirlwind. We really covered a lot in today's daily vibecasting.
Right.
From Japan versus US to pinning down societal shifts, fake quotes, policy twists, political drama, crypto rulings, AI monkeys, and presidential roof dancing.
Laughs is quite the feed today.
Our whole goal here is just to give you those quick, condensed insights from all the online buzz.
Yep, as you go back to scrolling your own feeds, just remember, every post, every meme, every headline usually has a deeper story, right? There's always more context.
Sure.
The real challenge, maybe the reward too, is digging a bit deeper. Always asking yourself, okay, what's the real deep dive here? What am I not seeing at first glance?
Well said. That's all for today's daily vibecasting.
We'll catch you next time.
Keep those sources coming.